everybody, it's Mary Elizabeth, and this is my channel Fiber and Fiction, where I talk about my making and my writing and what I'm reading each week. And so on Mondays, you know, it's crafting day, so my rotation this past week has been quite interesting. My husband has surprised me with a little something, so some of my rotations are going to change over time to include some interesting items, I guess, but more about that closer to time. So yeah, I am going to still have only 7 things in my rotation, but some of the things I think I'm going to kind of change up a little bit, although this week I have gotten quite a bit accomplished. No finishes. Unfortunately, there's no finishes, but a lot of progress. So my March socks are coming along. I finished a full, let me grab it here. I finished a full pattern repeat in one of the socks, and I am about 1/3 of the way on the other sock. So here is a full pattern repeat. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? You can kind of see that kind of fallen leaves pattern falling in there. It's actually just a simple lace work. It doesn't really require like super advanced knowledge. You know, if you know how to slip a stitch, knit 2 together, knit 3 together, pass 1 slip stitch over the 2 together, you're good to go. So it's out of the Socks a la Carte Toes Up book, and it's the I Believe LEAF pattern for the leg, and I think it's on, let me double check my notes, because I think I said earlier what page it's on. Page 56. So it's on page 56. So if you're able to get that book, it's really cool. And I find that whether you have the top down, you know, the regular cuff down book, or you have the toes up book, you can use the patterns interchangeably. So, you know, it's just how you decide to knit it. I decided to do these top down because I like the falling leaves. The other way, they kind of come up the sock, but I wanted mine to look like falling leaves, you know, for the autumn. So that's why I did it this way. And I am using an autumn colored yarn, and I forgot to bring the label over, but it's just so beautiful. As you can see, it's got them gorgeous autumn colors with that bright orange and the browns, a touch of yellows. It's just really pretty, and I think it's going to really work out well. So I did that. I've gotten a few more of the squares done, more of the little buttons done, and we're working pretty good on that. I did, let me grab it here. You know, I got everything on the chair next to me. I did one more square on my cozy memory blanket, so I want to show that to you. And here it is. Let's see. Yep, that's the front. There we go. So this is the newest one. Check that out. And I've done like 3 pairs of socks out of this one, and I still have more. So I actually have enough. I think I'm going to do a Musselburgh hat out of this one. I think is what I chose for my Musselburgh hat. So as you can see, this one and this one are thinner than these. This one's like halfway in between the Croy and this. So I'm trying to kind of flow back into a medium, but right now we're up to 5, and I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. But this is going to be a years long project. I'm not trying to get it done like in a year or whatever. It's just literally going to be made up from the yarn that I use for making socks. So however long it takes to get a big one, it could be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, I don't know. All right, so I did not really do anything on my latch hook this week, and there's a reason for that, because I didn't really have a spot filled for the 7th item on my rotation right away, because I wanted to start a new project, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I felt like maybe I wanted to crochet something, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you this real quick. The knit along socks are really coming along well. I have the first sock, I'm on the foot, and the second sock I have literally like 4 rows to go before the I'm trying to stick my hook in here so I don't lose where I'm at. Let me fix that stitch. Okay, there we go. All right. Which one's okay? So this is going to be a beach bag. Let me pull that so I don't lose it. Okay, so here is the pattern so far. I'll drop it down so you can see the thing. Somehow I keep adding on stitches and I haven't figured out where I've done that, but that's okay because I need it kind of big. I went up like a size or 2 on the hook, and I'm just using crochet cotton that I have on a cone. I caked up some of it and then I emptied the cone already. So this is all that was left on the cone, and then I have like a bunch of cakes. So I bought it at Walmart. I don't know if it's the peaches and cream or lilies or whatever, but it's just dishcloth cotton. Brown is my favorite color, so of course it's got to be brown. But I like using reusable bags like for shopping and whatnot, and also I just wanted a beach bag. I don't have one. I haven't had one for years, and so when I go to the beach, on the rare occasion I do hit the beach, I just have to grab whatever tote I have in the house, and a lot of times it's a reusable shopping bag. So now I will have a designated beach bag for that. And all it's got to hold is like the towels that we need for us, extra shoes, sunscreen, and our water bottles, of course, and then a, beach blanket. So, and those, they fold down really small. You get the microfiber ones. So yeah, it's going to be a beach bag. And I have 2 pattern repeats done. The pattern is free on Ravelry. I will post the pattern below. It's called the lattice work, I believe. I'm not quite sure the name, but it's really simple and it's really pretty. It's not one that is a stickler for exact everything. So as I see that I've kind of gone off the rails a little bit and made it a little bigger, it still looks fine. So it's not perfect, and I don't really care that it's not perfect because it's going to work exactly the way I need it to, and it'll look cute. So that's all that matters, right? All right, let me look at, so Eddie socks haven't even been started yet, y'all. I'm so behind on those, getting those cast on cuffs done. I had them cast on, and then I didn't like the needles with that, so then I took them out, and I haven't put them back on. So there's that. But they're just going to be, Eddie said he wanted them just, the regular, just a vanilla sock. So I don't know if I'm going to adhere to that or if I'm going to do a ribbed sock, because he also likes that look. But we'll see. But I haven't started them yet, so I'm behind on that. But I did get ahead a little bit on the beach bag, and the cozy memory, I did get a square done. So, and my March socks are coming along good. But I don't don't think I'm going to finish them in March, and that's okay. All right, so as far as anything else that I wanted to talk about as far as the rotation, I wanted to discuss the importance of grace and forgiving yourself when you don't hit all your little milestones that you want to make, because things happen. I also do some freelance work with book reviews, and I also write, and I also just recently got my commission for the e-notary to go along with my notary commission. So I will be looking more into branching out with that a little bit, and that takes time. Plus, I'm still working on building a website and all of these other things, you know. And excuse that buzz, that's our ceiling fan, and it's a little loud. But it's an awesome little USB ceiling fan that I got from Amazon like 5 years ago, and it's a rock star. But yeah, so, you know, being realistic with yourself. Now, for me, I can do 7 different things in a week and still find a way to deviate and do something else, or do those plus something else, because I'm not trying to finish something every week. That's just not me. I've chosen to take my time this year with my crafting to reduce the stress and increase the relaxation, because crafting should be our zen time. It should be our relaxation, the time that we kind of come down from the stress, you know, and just, I guess, divert our minds so that we can just take a step back for a minute, you know. For those who work like 40-hour weeks, have a long drive and all of that, and your crafting is like a luxury, you're obviously not going to be able to do like a huge rotation, and probably aren't going to have a finish every week. But maybe, you know, if you have, say, 2 projects that you work on off and on, and that's enough, you know. I know that when I worked a long hours each week, I did not get a whole lot of crafty time in, and it would take me like 6 months to make 1 pair of socks. But I would work on them. It might be only 2 rows a night, but they would get there, you know, and I would be happy with that. And now it still takes me a little while to get socks done, but that's because I'm doing so many other things. Because honestly, I'm not going to just sit there and do 1 pair of socks and nothing else. I like to have multiple projects going, and that's just because I enjoy doing different things all the time. But I don't always meet my goals, and that's okay, as long as they get met. And so for this next week, I am going to try to get some work done on the latch hook, and I am going to work towards getting Eddie socks cast on, and at least getting the cuffs done. But yeah, so the knit along socks, as I explained, they're going to be for my Build-A-Bear. She's sitting right here beside me, and I'm hoping to get those finished this week at the latest. If not, at least one of them finished and the other one almost there. You know, we'll see how that goes. But as far as the blanket squares, I'm really doing good on them. And at this point, I am at that, I've got enough done of different colors to where at this point where I'm at for this week, I think I'm going to start being more intentional with which colors go for which blanket. So that's a big plus there. All right. And then the cozy memory, I would like to do at least 1 square this week, but I don't know if I will. And the reason for that is the color that I had wanted to do the square in, I don't know if I have enough yarn left. So I did get a new scale. Bought it from Amazon. I have the box right here next to me. Where did I put it? Here, this is just the box. The scale's put up. But it's this, it's by Taylor. And it's got this little glass plate on it. And it is super good. The yarn sits on it just fine. I can also use it while baking, doing my baking and all of that. So it does have the, where you can do the ounces or the grams. And it's super easy to use. And I think it was, I'm trying to remember. Eddie, do you remember how much it was? He's sitting right here. It was like, what, $12? $10? Something like that. Yeah, it was like really, I think it was like 10 something because of tax. But I have Amazon Prime, so the shipping was free. And it's just called Glass Platform Digital Kitchen Scale by Taylor. And it's super small. The box really is a lot bigger than it needed to be. But I keep my boxes. Just because if something happens before the warranty runs out, I can, you know, return it. But yeah, so I've been weighing out my little tiny mini cakes. So I don't know if I'll get another square done this week. But if I don't, that's okay. I will eventually. And you notice that the candy twist socks are not on my rotation. There's a reason for that. It's not because I don't plan on working on them, just like the Rick Rack socks, which those poor things have been set aside. But just like the slip stitch ones were last year, they eventually did get done, right? So I picked them up. The candy twist socks, actually, I don't have them on my rotation because they're in my little to-go pouch, you know, when I want to take something with me. Because since I'm on the gusset and I'm just going to do straight stockinette for the feet, I just take those with me when I go somewhere. So that's why they're not in my rotation. And that's because they're, you know, that quick and simple thing that I can take and I can easily work on for 5 minutes in a, you know, sitting at a, in a doctor's office or wherever we happen to be that requires a waiting time. Because I don't always want to sit and play on my tablet, although I do love my little games. And so yeah, that's why the candy twist socks are not in the rotation. And it's not that I haven't been working on them. I think I did a few rows on them this week, but it's just because, you know, like I said, those are in my to-go bag is what I call it. It's a, you know, the little gnome pouch fits perfectly in my purse and we can get going with it. All right, so for next week, like I said, I have the March socks, of course. The beach bag, I'm hoping to get pretty close to finishing on that because it's actually a super, super fast crochet project. The latch hook pillow, I'm really just like, if I can just get 1 row in or 2 rows in, I'm not even trying to get it done before November, so we're good. And yeah, so that's it for the rotation pretty much. And we'll see if I have a finish next week. If I do, great. If I don't, okay. And obviously I don't have any stash items for my make ahead gift stash. I haven't done anything in the last few weeks, so I really need to figure out what I want to make to go in there. And that's been the holdup because I've looked at a few different things and nothing has really struck me as, oh, I really want to make that. So that's why I don't have any make aheads. And I definitely need to get busy on that because some of it won't be for just this year because I plan on keep building it and building it and building it. But I just, you know, I dropped the ball. So eventually I'll have to pick that ball right back up. But I've just been really focused on some other things this week. So, have you ever had a time when you have all these big plans and these goals, and there's really not a strict timeline other than the one you impose, and you're not meeting it and you're kind of beating yourself up about it? If so, post in the comment below. Tell me about it, and tell me where you like to get your patterns from. Me, I really enjoy Ravelry, but I also enjoy Yarnspiration's website. And have y'all seen that Drops website? They have some of the most beautiful clothing items, like the sweaters and stuff. And I haven't gotten the yarn yet for making the little tops that I want to make. But I do have the yarn for the shawl that I want to cast on and for my cardigan. So I already have the yarn for those. I just don't have the yarn for my little shirts yet. But yeah, if you have any other places that you go for patterns, especially free patterns, please share those in the comments below, because although I know I don't have many followers, you know, we're a community. I would hope that we could share. I don't know who all of my followers are, but hello. And thank you so much for continuing to join me. Please don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and check me out on Wednesday. I don't really have, and I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I've still been on a little mini vacation from my audiobooks, but I did download one from the Libby app, so yeah, I'll probably be listening to that while I knit later on tonight. Although my husband and I, we've been on a kick lately with the Chicagos, and what I call the Chicagos is Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD. So we watch one to a certain point, and then we watch the other two to get to the same point in the storyline, and then we'll go from there. And we switch up the order often, so we really enjoy those. But anyway, I will hopefully talk to you all soon again. Have a blessed week. Keep your hands busy, and join me on Wednesday. Bye-bye.